First of all, if you haven't seen this show, I definitely recommend that you watch it first before you listen to this. But yeah, I want to talk about The Promised Neverland. I seen it a couple of months ago. I don't remember exactly when, but I know I started it after it was completed. I was kind of looking for something to watch on Hulu's where I saw it, and I didn't know at the moment if I was trying to watch like maybe some anime or some TV show. I was just bored. I didn't have anything to do because I wasn't working for a couple of weeks, and it was before all this started happening. But I think it was early January, maybe February. But yeah, I remember like the first episode. Whenever the intro started, first of all, I thought it like I wasn't really paying attention to the visuals, like the what was going on in an intro because the music was really catchy. Like the opening, I was like busy dancing to it, whatever. So I didn't pay attention to the visuals. I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a light-hearted type of slice of life show. That's at least what I expected it to be. And boy, was I wrong. I think halfway through the first episode, I started getting like the vibes of like, okay, this does not feel like it's going to be a slice of life. It definitely feels sort of morbid or sort of like some bad shit's going to go down. It just felt that way. Like it was very unsettling, and then it got closer to the end of episode one, and yeah, you could start seeing how things were changing, like the scenes, and it started feeling a little bit more dramatic and whatever. So it was really that scene that happened. So everything's going to be spoilers. That's why I said I recommend you watch this show before even listening to this. And I'm going to be all over the place. But speaking of the first episode, it's just whenever it saw that, I was like, what the hell? What kind of show is this? Like what's going on? They're obviously killing them, but are they like eating them, or why are they killing them? And they had the numbers on their neck, so I assume that they're just farming them or whatever. And I had a lot of questions about this show, and as the episodes progressed, I had even more and more questions. But I binge watched it all the way. I think it took me 2 days because I started late at night and then I finished it the next day. But there's a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of suspenseful moments. There's a lot of like WTF moments in the show. And yeah, each character has, their own personality, of course. Like Emma just wants to protect her family, and that's kind of what she cares about the most. She cares about her family more than she cares about herself, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to protect those that she loves. Norman is kind of like these characters are all like smart for being like children, right, in their own rights. But Norman I feel like he's sort of blinded by Emma because, I guess he's in love or he likes her or whatever. And he sort of wants to do whatever it takes to make her happy. But then again, I can understand because he finds her to be like sort of this pure type of person because she cares about other people more than she cares about herself. And she thinks about others and puts others first before herself. And I feel like, I guess I kind of liked Ray a little bit more until you started finding out what he was doing and all this. But Ray's kind of the type of character that he wants to do what is like physically and I guess more logical, like what makes the most sense. Like he just wants to save each other, like those three. He doesn't want to save everybody because it just makes the plan a little bit harder to escape. So the premise is basically like there's just these kids in a farm, but from the inside, it looks like it's just there for kids who were abandoned or left for adoption and stuff like that. And it looks really nice. Everyone has their own room. They get to go outside and play. They get fed and all this stuff. They have tests and all these other type of things. And it's just like a normal everyday life. If you're, I guess, in a foster home, just foster home is probably better if you don't consider what happens after a certain amount of age or whatever that you get shipped off to get eaten basically and killed. So I don't know, finding out like the fact, like if I was these little kids in this type of situation, I probably wouldn't be able to make it, to be honest. I would like be shitting my pants and I'd be really afraid and scared from the beginning. Like I would have never been able to keep a straight face, and mom Isabella would have seen right through me easily. But still, finding out like your whole life purpose was just to be a livestock and to be eaten by other creatures that you never knew existed in the world is kind of like, damn, like you're secluded from the outside world and you really don't know what it's like. which is something that I'm interested in finding more about the world and more about how things became to be this way. Like, why are they this way and what happened? Where did these like monsters come from? What are they? Like, how is the outside world actually look like? Are they really running the world, or is it like split between other things, or like what's going on? And then how are these different children created? Like, how did they create them so fast to be able to, come back and just have them ready to be able to be eaten? Like, obviously, if you kind of think of it like animals, they reproduce them on purpose, and they keep, injecting them with stuff to be able to reproduce faster and all this stuff. I don't know how they do it in this show. They didn't really say anything, and I'm hoping they go more about it on season 2. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of questions that I have, like I said, like, were these creatures always here? Did they come from somewhere else? Like, were they created? Like, that's an interesting, question. Like, where did they actually come from? And how did the world end up turning to where it is now in this situation? Like, did the humans try to fight back, or what? I would imagine maybe they did, and obviously these creatures are way bigger, but I don't know, like, what time frame is it sort of living? We don't really see that. I mean, we kind of see that it seems like it's back in the day. I don't know why I said it seems so many times, but it looks like it's back in the day because of the way the wheels look, but I don't know, I could be wrong. We didn't really see much about the technology. I mean, they have trackers on them and they have all this type of stuff. But then they had like that old classic radio where Isabella communicates with the higher ups. So, yeah, there's a lot of questions that I'm wondering that didn't happen in season 1, and I'm curious to see in season 2. I'm pretty sure we're going to get to explore more of that universe and more of the world because they finally, made it out and they escaped. There's a lot of shocking moments in this series. I guess for me, I'm just an idiot and it's not predictable. But yeah, like, for instance, whenever Norman had climbed the wall, and I'm like, what? Like, it was so suspenseful because they weren't showing what was there, like, he just kind of froze and came back, and it cut to the scene and he was back with Emma and Ray, and I was like, are they going to tell us what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, I was left wondering, like, they didn't show anything, so it must have been bad. What could it be? And I don't know why I didn't think of a cliff or something. I thought like he's seen something else. But yeah, whenever they show the cliff, I was like, how did they even do that, first of all? But that's insane. Like, that's creepy. Imagining that your only escape is like right there. You made it up. Now you have to make it across. But the hard part was even getting up there in the first place. Now that's become even the hardest part because, like, I feel like climbing the wall is just easy. Now going over that, it's much harder, So it really gave a lot of suspenseful moments, and you can kind of see the look in his face of despair that, whoa, we're not going to be able to do it. It's over. Now, this it's basically just kind of like a thriller, suspenseful type of show. That's what I would consider it. Every single episode, it just left me like wondering. There's different types of twists and stuff like that. Some people may enjoy it, some people may not. I personally love this. And yeah, what I wonder as well, like, for sure, it made it seem, I'm pretty sure this is the case as well, but that Isabella was Ray's mom because he was humming that song. And she kind of had that look on her face that she does care, She's just kind of forced to do this because this is just her job, right? Like, she was given this role to do this. I mean, I'm pretty sure she can't go against the higher ups. It's like, there's really nothing she can do. She's probably just going to end up being killed if she disobeys orders. And I'm kind of conflicted about Isabella, like the mother, because like at some points it seems that she cares, but then at other points it seems that she only cares about providing the food for the creatures. Because there was a scene when, like, I think it was the last scene or the last episode where they make the plan to escape and they burn down the house, and she's worried about Ray's brain, like maybe she can salvage the brain to be able to feed it to the higher ups. Instead of her first thought was like, oh no, my kid's in danger. But then there's other parts, like at the very end, where she just lets him go because she glad that they made it up and she kind of gives up at the end. She's hoping that they find some kind of closure and peace, that they're able to survive out there. But then there's other parts even earlier on where it seems like she does really care, and she's just trying to give them the best life that they can possibly have in the unusual circumstances that they're in, you know. There's definitely a lot of backstabbing as well, and what really got it's kind of awkward, but it's kind of cool at the same time, that there's really, like, the music is super good, and the music kind of combines with the dialogue. There's certain episodes and scenes where the music is so epic and it just makes the dialogue even better. I feel like it wouldn't work without the music. Like, it's just so good in that aspect. So the music for this whole show is really good. But yeah, overall, there's a lot of, like, people kind of lying to each other. There's a lot of twists. There's a lot of things you probably wouldn't expect. At least I didn't expect, like I said. There's people using one another, and, you know, like, can you just imagine seeing, like, someone that you've basically spent 12 years with, you know, or 13, 11 years with, or whatever, and, you know, they're your family, and then you just see them getting killed, and, like, your whole existence is just for that. It's kind of, you know, mind-boggling, especially when you're at such a young age, and you're sort of wondering, like, well, this is the reason why we're here, and we serve no other purpose besides this. It's kind of messed up. And I guess I don't know how it works. I'm assuming that what Norman said, I guess, makes sense, that they ship them off, and depending on, like, how smart they are, sometimes it really depends, but the more developed that their brain is, I guess, the better that it tastes. They never really confirmed that, I feel like, but Norman, you know, figured that out, so I'm assuming that they told us that because that's the reason it is. I'm not sure. Now, when it comes to Norman's death, I don't know if he died. Like, usually they would show something in anime, and the reason they don't show these type of things is because, well, they didn't kill off the character. Like, a part of me is kind of sad if he is dead, but then the other part of me wants him to be, because it gives it more of a realistic sort of, you know, it's more realistic. Like, there's no plot armor and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, unless they make a really good reason, if he's alive, why they kept him alive, and it actually makes sense, and maybe they'll eventually kill him. I don't know. Because, like I said, keeping him alive for whatever reason, if he's alive, I don't know the whole story. Like I said, I don't read the manga or anything. I just watched the show. But I just feel like sometimes they try to cop out when it comes to certain characters because they know they're loved by the community. But I don't know, it feels like, to me, it just feels better when they kill certain characters, but they kill them the right way, right? You know, like, no one is protected from this as long as it's done properly. Like, I feel like Game of Thrones was done properly, and, like, Vinland Saga was done properly. There's many other shows that do it properly. Instead of, like, just killing them off just to kill them off, but also instead of keeping them alive just to keep them alive because they're favorites, you know? I don't know. I guess we'll see how season 2 ends up being. And then I guess we'll know more or less if he's dead or not. I feel like it's just mainly going to focus on them surviving. I don't know what they're going to see out there. Like, from what we saw, all we see is nothing but trees, like they're in the forest or something. Who knows, the highway can be, like, super close. Maybe, like, there's different sections where people live. Maybe they'll end up going to other farms. Like, I don't know if that wall that they were in is just a wall around their specific farm, or is one big wall around multiple sections of farms, and then in the middle there's, like, doorways, or maybe the gates are doorways that go to the other parts of the farms. I'm not too sure about that. So hopefully we get to see that as well. I don't think it's going to be able to explain a lot in season 2. Hopefully, I don't know how far the manga goes, or if it's still like a continuation. I just hope there's more than, 3 seasons. If it's good, of course, like Attack on Titan. I love Attack on Titan. My Hero Academia, I love that too. And yeah, I'm excited for the next season. It got delayed, sadly, but it's understandable, right? So yeah, I'm definitely expecting that. Let me know your thoughts on what you thought about this show. Like, did you enjoy it? Is this what you expect? And if you're a manga reader, like, did they follow exactly how the manga goes? And was it just as you expected? Is it nice to see it animated? Like, just let me know your thoughts. And are you excited for the future seasons? And yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say. It's not, don't have much to talk about this series. It's only 12 episodes. I mean, the animation is, decent. It's not like, I don't know, like at some point there's doesn't really need to be like godly animation if they're not really like fighting or something like that. I think the dialogue and the music, makes it more suspenseful on these type of shows, and it kind of soaks you into makes you more immersive into the experience. It doesn't hurt to have like great animation if you can like afford the budget. Like, why not? Go all out and show off. So yeah, it's really all I have to say. So sorry for rambling on and being all over the place. Still trying to get used to this whole thing. Hopefully I end up improving as I make more and talk about, more anime shows. So anyways, I'll see you in the next one, and yeah, have a lovely rest of your night, and yeah, talk to you later.